organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV,
design, click, print. See how 3D is coming to life on campus.
And learn which Iowa students will get more cash in their pockets.
And in sports, we take a look inside the life of the Iowa band drum major.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Hannah Thompson.
And I'm Michelle Nago.
The first person diagnosed with Ebola in the U.S. has died. Liberian national Thomas Eric Dungan contracted the disease while in Liberia. The Dallas, Texas hospital that admitted Dungan announced Dungan's death in a press release. U.S. airports are taking actions and will soon screen passengers arriving from Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia for Ebola. New York's JFK Airport will be the first to screen, followed by Chicago, Newark, Atlanta, and Washington Dulles airports. The screenings will include fever checks and questionnaires.
Another deadly virus similar to Ebola has hit Uganda. On October 5th, the hemorrhagic virus, Marburg virus, left a health worker at a capital hospital dead. Now 99 people in Uganda who are believed to have made contact with the worker are in quarantine in 4 different places across the country. The virus begins with a fever, then often leads to bleeding, organ failure, and possibly death.
If you're a future Hawkeye with black and gold in your blood, you may qualify for a scholarship. UI President Sally Mason announced today the university is offering a legacy scholarship of up to $12,000 for students with family members who graduated from the University of Iowa. Incoming first-year students whose parents, grandparents, or legal guardians earned graduate degrees from Iowa will automatically receive a $6,000 scholarship spread out over 4 years. Up to 20 of these students may be eligible to receive a second award if they also meet the criteria for the presidential scholarship. These new awards are part of the university's plan to attract more students and boost enrollment.
This is our attempt not only to encourage legacies to come back to the University of Iowa, as their family members have, but also to encourage those who've moved out of state to bring those kids back to Iowa.
Daily Iowan TV's Tanner Seaworth talked to students about the scholarship announcements.
For students, Sally Mason's morning announcement was more than just a bonus, but also a little appreciation towards the legacies whose families have devoted themselves to Iowa.
I didn't know they offered that, but when I found out, it was definitely a bonus, and I always wanted to come here just because everyone in my family did, and so it was like really nice to have that appreciated.
I feel like that'd be completely fair because, I mean, like their parents went here, so they're alumni, and it kind of shows respect that their students went here too. So if my parents went here, I totally would come here just for that scholarship.
Mason also announced changes to the university's old Gold and Iowa Scholar Awards, increasing the amount of money each scholarship gives out per year. Reporting from the Pentacrest, this is Tanner Sigworth, Daily Iowan TV.
National food distributor Sysco is suing the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. The lawsuit hopes to block the release of pricing contracts in which the Gazette requested from the university. Sysco says the documents are a trade secret and would be put at an extreme disadvantage. Until the court says any different, the university will treat the contracts as public record.
The construction of the new Hancher Auditorium is reaching the halfway point, and to celebrate, Morton Construction invited the entire community to make their mark on the new building. For 2 days, a steel flood beam will be available to be signed by Hancher guests before becoming part of the new Hancher Auditorium. So far, over 1,000 workers have already logged 300,000 hours of work. The Make Your Mark ceremony was a way for the community to show the workers that they appreciate all the effort they've put in.
I think it was a great idea because I think as a community, you know, we've been through a lot with the flood, and everybody wants to be a part of the rebirth of Hancher, and we're all excited about, about it going up.
If you've walked on the Pentacrest in the past day, it's hard to miss the 25-foot homecoming monument. The statue is made entirely from black and gold corn. The corn statue idea is a long-standing homecoming tradition on campus that started in 1919. The last time the corn monument was displayed was back in 1991. You can see the cornfield statue anytime this week before it's gone this Saturday.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, learn how printing is taking a new form at the UIO.
And in today's Spotlight in Sports, meet the man who gets the Hawkeye band and football fans going.
Well, Michelle, today was a beautiful day out there. I even got a little bit warm this afternoon.
I know, it feels more like spring than fall, I think. But Daily Iowans TV, Kelly O'Lean is standing by in the weather studio. Kelly, it's a beautiful day today. Can we expect this weather to last?
Well, Michelle, it's hard to say. Tomorrow morning we might be getting some rain. However, it'll stay in the 50s and mostly cloudy well into the afternoon. It'll clear up heading into the evening, ending the day strong with a high of 58 degrees. It should stay the same throughout Friday, although we may see clouds again. However, Saturday will be perfect for homecoming with clear, sunny skies and a high of 89. For those of you planning on celebrating UI's homecoming, Sunday will be a great day to recover as it will be cloudy with highs in the upper 50s. Monday will start off the week with some rain and highs in the low 60s. Temperatures will stay the same as that rain clears up, leaving us with sunny skies on Tuesday. That's all I've got for you from the weather studio. Back at the desk.
The UI is now an official partner in the 100,000 Strong Foundation. The initiative supports diversity and an increased number of American students studying abroad in China. The university currently offers 18 types of exchange programs for students in China. The program is sponsored by the U.S. Department of State, and one goal of the program is for American students to study the Mandarin language.
Since 2008, the university has offered 2 3D printers on campus, but many students still have never seen them. I went to check them out at the Studio Arts building to see why that's the case. This $40,000 3D printer works a lot like a paper inkjet printer. But instead of printing paper, it produces 3D objects.
In the computer, it sends the job over here, and usually you have to click OK to start it, but then once the machine is going, it's kind of hands off. The third dimension, which is the bed that fills up with powder and it lowers down.
And in just 1 hour and 9 minutes, this turns into this.
These are 2 different technologies. One is based in powder, like I said, and the other one in plastic.
And students in the Studio Arts building say they find the 2 3D printers useful come project time.
We're designers, and it's easy to get something visualized, not just something we draw on the pad or on computer.
Although the 3D printing service is available to all students on campus, Correa says the majority who use it are engineering and design students.
Yeah, this is not necessary yet for every single major.
Which is why she doesn't think the printers need to be moved to a more centralized location like the main library.
There is no reason to place these printers in the main library if most of the users will be here.
So for now, students wanting to use the technology may have to catch a bus to get there.
Just 10 minutes before same-sex couples were about to get married, the Supreme Court temporarily blocked gay marriage in Idaho. However, there was confusion as to whether Nevada was included in Idaho's request to block Monday's Supreme Court ruling. This ruling allows 5 other states to grant gay marriages. Nevada never asked to block the ruling, but same-sex couples will now have to be put on hold.
Some of you might remember Stephen Collins from the 90s show Seventh Heaven. Collins played the role of father and pastor in the show. Earlier this week, Collins allegedly admitted to molesting or exposing himself to young girls to his ex-wife. These actions are said to have happened nearly 10 years ago, but are just now surfacing. A thorough investigation is taking place by the New York Police Department.
NFL running back Adrian Peterson appeared for the first time in court today on charges of child abuse after hitting his 4-year-old son with a switch. Peterson is expected to enter a plea of not guilty. A tentative trial date has been set for December 1st, and the case could be pushed back as prosecutors are requesting the judge hearing the case recuse himself for remarks made towards the attorneys.
It'll be really interesting to see how the case goes.
That's right, Michelle. A lot of sports fans are really looking at Adrian Peterson right now.
And continuing our sports coverage, we'll toss things over to Taylor Mathis and Austin Luce, have some good news for Big Ten student athletes.
Thanks, guys. This evening, we also take a look at what it takes to be the Hawkeye drum major. Inside the Daily Iowan TV studio, I'm Taylor Mathis.
And I'm Austin Luce. But first, the Big Ten released earlier today how they plan to improve support for student-athlete graduation.
On Tuesday, representatives of the Big Ten wrapped up a 2-day discussion about student athletes and their athletic scholarships throughout their course of enrollment.
They announced how they plan to secure an athlete's scholarship in 2 ways, saying the scholarship will neither be reduced nor canceled provided he or she remains in good standing with the community, the university, the athletics department.
And if the student athletes pursue an undergraduate degree is interrupted for a genuine reason, that student athlete may return to the institution at any time to complete his or her degree with the assistance of an athletic scholarship.
The Big Ten says they will continue to work towards additional improvements to student athletes such as medical insurance and grants to meet the growing cost of education.
Once again, we'll bring you inside to take a look at what it takes to be a student athlete, sports club member, or even the drum major. Continuing our What It Takes segment, we'll now toss over to Laura Bulanda. Laura?
Thanks, guys. There's only one guy that can call himself drum major here at the University of Iowa. Baton in hand and topped with a tall bearskin hat, you can see him leading the band in the alma mater or high-stepping 50 yards onto the field of Kinnick Stadium on game day. I met up with the one and only Quinton Marquez to see what it takes to be the drum major of the Hawkeye Marching Band.
My name is Quinton Marquez, and I'm the drum major of the University of Iowa Hawkeye Marching Band. Iowa's very unique in the fact that once you get the drum major position, you're the drum major until you decide to leave or graduate. A lot of other schools you have to try out every single year. Thankfully, I haven't had to. So it is a pretty cool position in that regard. But also, Iowa is one of the few bands that only has one drum major. So I've been it for the past 3 years. It's always busy. We do rehearsal Tuesday through Friday, just at our normal time, like 3:30 to 5:30. But of course, I'm always at the iClub breakfast Friday morning at like 6:30 in the morning with some of the other band members. And I'm also the first person in Kinnick on a Saturday morning, other than like the security staff. So I'm sitting out there on the 50-yard line at like 6:30 in the morning. But it's been super busy, but just the most rewarding experience I think I've ever had. That's a difficult question, all-around favorite part, but I think it would have to be the people. The people who, are so in love with music and so in love with this university that they give up. I mean, it's basically a part-time job to be here, every single afternoon, and you're giving up your entire game day Saturdays. I've been here a student for 4 years and never have been to a tailgate. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about, or anything like that. But the people are my absolute favorite. It's a band, but it's more than that. It's a group of friends who love the university and love to go out there on game day and perform and entertain people. It's exhausting. It's exhilarating. It's a fantastic experience for all the band members. I know everyone really does remember their first run on Kinnick Stadium. It's a very special time for everyone. Game days on Saturday, running out in front of 70,000 screaming Hawkeye fans has been absolutely amazing, and something I'll definitely miss, and something I'll have to adjust to is actually being up there in the stands watching the band that I've been a part of for so long perform, but I'm excited to see that too.
This will be Marquez's last year as the drum major, but with 4 home games left in the football season, his job isn't quite done yet. Taylor, Austin, back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that, Laura. Iowa men's tennis will be in action tomorrow. The team will travel to Norman, Oklahoma to begin a 5-day ITA regional tournament where some of the top collegiate players in the Central region will be competing. All 7 Hawkeyes on the roster will make the trip.
Senior Matt Hagan won his first 2 matches at the pre-qualifying ITA All-American Tournament in Tulsa back in late September before losing in the round of 64.
Iowa will face off against teams from Minnesota, Oklahoma State, Wichita State, Arkansas, and Tulsa.
And a former NCAA 3-time All-American from Washington now joins the women's tennis staff. Denise Dye was named the new assistant coach as a Husky. Dye ranked as high as the number 3rd in singles and number 6 in doubles. Women's head coach Katie Doherty said she is thrilled to have Dye on the team.
And that'll wrap things up for us here in the sports studio. Be sure to tune in to tomorrow's program for a preview of this weekend's Iowa versus Indiana football game.
That's right, Austin. Our Thursday pregame show is back on the program. We'll go inside the numbers and take a look at a defensive Hawkeye that's leading the team statistically.
Michelle, Hannah, back to you guys at the desk.
Only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a preview of tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan. Find out what UI researchers are doing to protect brain cells after injuries.
And learn how and why Cactus 2 is opening right down the street from the original.
That's all we have on tonight's edition of Daily Iowan TV. Make sure to tune in at the same time tomorrow.
Or check us out anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?
I joined and now I'm working in public relations for diabetes research.